sent out a, first of all, but y'all niggas love clowning the nigga, bro. I don't know why. But I guess I gotta be the butt of the joke. It's whatever. It's whatever. Follow me on the ground. We got a big announcement coming real soon. Yeah. Yeah, like the video. Know the rules, you know? Yeah. You know, I used to go crazy. Like, run them likes up. We need 10,000 of them motherfuckers. But, you know, yeah. But I made a post earlier saying I came back from vacation, send the videos, lock in before I tweak out. Looks like y'all like seeing people tweak out, so I'm gonna relax. Anyway, now send me this. That's how you get requests is off. When I post about them, run them. You know what I mean? Sometimes y'all be sending niggas that nobody's heard of. Think I'm gonna take, boy, I might do that shit on my other channel. Like, cause that's open market. I see the play. Yeah. Anyways, gonna get into it.
Of Swamp Stories. For this episode, we continue the long-awaited Baton Rouge Part 2. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well. So let's get into it. I ended the last episode around 2011, but I skipped over a huge event that occurred just a few years earlier. So let's head back to 2005. On August 23rd, 2005, one of the worst hurricanes of all time swept through the state of Louisiana. Although Hurricane Katrina touched a good portion of Louisiana, New Orleans ended up getting hit.
I don't know how bad that shit was. The news reporter right there just kind of chilling. Like, yeah.
The worst by far. The city's poor infrastructure led to flooding all over, which ultimately destroyed most of the city. Thousands of people were left in the flood with no food or drinking water. That would be until September 3rd, when the entire city was completely evacuated.
Hit this ramp, where as you can see there are personal belongings all along. This is where people camped out for days waiting to be rescued. It's not pretty.
Mountains of people's belongings left behind when they were rescued litter the landscape.
That was a pretty messed up situation. My bad. I ain't know. I'm a northerner. We don't deal with hurricanes. With a little bit of tornadoes. About it.
80% of New Orleans was flooded. Billions and billions of gallons of water
really be in the
swept
country
over the
for real.
city.
Now, you might be wondering what this has to do with Baton Rouge, but trust me, it'll make sense. So after everyone in New Orleans had lost their homes, cars, and jobs, FEMA stepped up to the plate and paid out money to everyone from New Orleans. Now mind you, New Orleans was already one of the poorest cities in the country. And on top of this, some would say that it was the roughest as well. It was filled with housing projects such as the Magnolia, Calliope, and St. Bernard, which were known as awful places. So here's what happened next. After
no, I want to see what we'll do that after the fact. I want to see what else this guy got. And also Swamp Stories, buddy. Hey, listen, you don't like people doing reaction videos to your stuff. Hey, go ahead and hit me up on the Instagram. I see you got an Instagram. So yeah, go ahead and hit me up on the Instagram. Say woo 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 woo. Cut it out. I don't fuck with it. Yeah. And then yeah. I ain't taking this shit down though. Yeah. No, I'm just playing.
Receiving thousands of dollars in payouts, these residents began finding new cities to live in. Some went to Atlanta, others went to Houston, but a large amount decided to stay closer to home and move to Baton Rouge. And here's what began happening. All of these cities started to have major issues. Atlanta, Houston, and Baton Rouge began being taken over by the most cold-blooded guys they had ever seen. The New Orleans people were not afraid to take over anywhere they went. So an already poor and distraught city had a major influx of people who had all but given up on life at this point. But instead of housing projects like New Orleans, Baton Rouge is full of houses just like this, everywhere. It's really like the Detroit of the South. You can drive down the street and assume a house is abandoned and then see a family living inside. It's a whole different level of struggle that you won't find any.
No, let's speak on that. While I'm in Detroit, nigga, the whole block abandoned. That bitch dirty as hell. Like, bruh. Like, that's how I know I was in the trenches in Detroit. It was dirty. Even the slick, decent part. I need to go get some tissue. The slick, decent part was still halfway dirty. I'm like, yo. And it's like that in Baton Rouge. The home of LSU?
Anywhere else.
Now, I live in a city that ain't that damn clean, but boy, that make this motherfucker look, boy. tell you niggas something. They make this motherfucker look kind of sweet. But you know what I'm saying, it ain't that. But look though. Fuck it, bro.
Well, the New Orleans influx resulted in Baton Rouge.
Hey, I forgot to cut out me getting up one video. What happened?
Abandoned.
Hey, I forgot to cut out me getting up one video. I'm cutting that shit out this video.
And then see a family living inside. It's a whole different level of struggle that you won't find anywhere else. Well, the New Orleans influx resulted in Baton Rouge having the highest spike in crime they had ever seen. So the already crazy city had gotten much worse just like that. And for those of you who think I'm exaggerating, I'm really not. The generations of broken homes, abuse, crime, lack of guidance, and overall sense of fear has led to absolute chaos in the city of Baton Rouge. And unlike other cities where rivalries have been consistent for generations, in the 225 it all changes on a daily basis. Friends turn into enemies, families cross each other, and no one seems to care one bit about the consequences. Simply bumping into someone at the mall can be the end for you. Welcome to the new Baton Rouge. But before we get into it,
This nigga said simply bumping into someone at the mall could be the end for you. Listen, bro. Now, hear me out. Outside of LSU, which is like the school population and shit, Baton Rouge is not that damn big. We have all seen this shit. Like, that motherfucker ain't that fucking big. Right? Now, y'all be saying cities like Memphis is small when the population is like 700,000. You know. Places like, they be saying places like, I even heard some niggas say Atlanta is small. Bitch. The fuck? How many highways you niggas got? The fuck? They got 285, 85. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, some other places that niggas be like, it's small. But Baton Rouge, St. Louis is small. But, Baton Rouge is small than the bitch. Now, this is just me, I can go on to Google and just look at them. Oh, that's a small city. You know, that's a small city. Like, it's too many motherfuckers that know motherfuckers there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know the city really small. It's too many motherfuckers that know motherfuckers. Like, all the motherfuckers that become popular out of Baton Rouge, then all bump shoulders with each other at least one time. Either been around motherfuckers in a private or personal type setting, you know. It's all probably either with the school with a motherfucker. Like, there's all these niggas that's like recently like surfaced in the Baton Rouge, like the Fredo Bangs, the Funny Mikes, the YBs, all of them, right? All them niggas either cross paths, bump shoulders, nigga, whatever. Done a lot of street shit, whatever the fuck the case may be. So that's how I know that motherfucker really a small goddamn city. A lot of motherfuckers that know a lot of motherfuckers there. Either seen the ones and shit. You know?
let me run the intro.
Wow. That's how they start this shit. I'm stop, bro. I'm not say shit. This shit make me wanna rap, bro. Don't rap. I do not rap.
The new Baton Rouge has changed a lot, but in order to see how it got this way, let's head back to where we left off. After Boosie moved to Atlanta, South Baton Rouge was still all together. In fact, a lot of people would still call the top and bottom family at that point, despite all the internal affairs. So let me recap for those of you who don't know. South Baton Rouge has two groups. First, you have TBG, also known as Top Boy Gorilla. They represent the top of South Baton Rouge. And then you have BBG, who represent the bottom. Anyways, as the years went by, some members ended up in Angola, others at Winfield, and a small few were able to successfully leave that life.
Oh, what song was that? Oh! What song was that? Oh! What song was that? Send a bitch to Winfield. The more you fucking know. Yeah. Yeah, the more you fucking know. How many of y'all knew that? That's crazy. Wow, I never knew that. That's crazy. No, for real. Yeah.
Top of South Baton Rouge, and then you have BBG who represent the bottom. Anyways, as the years went by, some members ended up in Angola, others at Winfield, and a small few were able to successfully leave that life.
They just got one of them though? Like, we got like 6, 7 of them bitches.
That leads us to the new TBG. Let me break it down. TBG began having a new leader, a young man by the name of Garrett Burton, also known as Gmoney. He grew up in the Glen Oaks neighborhood of North Baton Rouge. And I know that may sound confusing, but neighborhoods don't matter at all. Instead, it's all about who you roll with. And Gmoney was introduced to TBG through his uncle who goes by Cleasy5. Anyways, without a mother or father present in his life, Gmoney had to fend for himself at a very young age. He also had the responsibility of watching over his younger brother named Lil Herc, and this guy is pretty important to the story. But at a certain point in his childhood, his living situation became so staggeringly bad that a close friend of his would allow him to come stay with him. That would be Frederick Gibbs, also known as Fredo Bang. And here is the house they lived in together.
Bro, why you giving these niggas government names, bro? We like the rap names a little better. I like the rap names a little better than these niggas government. I swear to God.
When I say that Baton
I don't need to know these niggas' real names.
Rouge is on a different level of trenches, believe me. The fact that this house was a step up for Gmoney is hard to imagine. But this is just a regular thing for the kids in Baton Rouge, abandonment and poverty. But regardless of their unfortunate upbringing, the teenagers would come together and begin making hit songs and catching fire in Baton Rouge. They signed to the local TBG Records, and that's how they were first able to get off their feet. And this is around the time that Gmoney's brother Lil Herc began bringing around his best friend from North Baton Rouge. That would be a kid by the name of Kentrell Gallman, also known as Youngboy. Kentrell grew up in North Baton Rouge on 38th and Chippewa. He and Lil Herc were inseparable as kids, like the closest that best friends can possibly be. And they say friendship is based on commonalities, so it's no wonder that Youngboy instantly clicked with Herc, Gmoney, and the rest of TBG. They all had the exact same story. Youngboy's father was never around, and according to him, his mother wasn't around either. So for most of his childhood, he was left to fend for himself and grow up way too early. After doing a juvenile bid, Lil Herc would introduce him to his older brother Gmoney. And at this point, Youngboy's living situation had gotten so bad that Gmoney actually had to move into his place. And sadly, this is when division would begin, but not exactly how you would imagine. Youngboy would get into a dispute with his cousin named Boozilla over some stolen money. Boozilla, who is a certified BBG member, was not happy, and according to Gmoney, he tried to line up his own cousin for the back door. So in response to his cousin, Youngboy would begin rolling with TBG for his own protection. He was so embedded within TBG that you can even see him wearing their apparel. So Gmoney pretty much became a big brother for Youngboy, and they were all against Boozilla and the rest of BBG. Well, TBG Records ended up signing Youngboy to an awful deal with no cash advance or industry push. And in all honesty, their focus was on Gmoney, and Youngboy was kind of an afterthought. So after months of not getting paid, Youngboy distanced himself from TBG and created his own group. That would be...
I mean, speaking on a business standpoint, at the time he was pretty like unknown in the sense, like in the world's in the grand scheme of things, he was unknown to the point like 2015 we didn't know who Youngboy was. 2016 when that shit got to jumping, when 38 Baby came out and shit like that. But what I'm trying to get to is around this time, if the dates what I'm thinking is lining up, of course TBG wasn't paying that nigga. He wasn't bringing no money in on his music. You know what I'm saying? Of course. Of course. But I don't think that was the issue though.
NBA, also known as Never Broke Again. And here is the big dilemma. Youngboy had just burnt the bridge with Gmoney and the rest of TBG, and he had previously burnt the bridge with Boozilla and BBG, so he had to swallow his pride one way or the other, because in Baton Rouge, having multiple rivals is a recipe for disaster. So finally, Youngboy decided to rekindle his relationship with his cousin Boozilla and start rolling with BBG. And this here would not please Gmoney one bit. He felt betrayed by Youngboy, and he's not really wrong for that. But in his defense, he really needed to go elsewhere due to the lack of money. But maybe joining forces with his rivals was a savage move. So Gmoney would get back at him in the pettiest way possible. He allegedly would have an affair with Youngboy's sister, and to make everything worse, he would rap about it and then talk about it in an interview.
Not really, he mad about his sister too though.
About his sister?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he mad about that.
Although this may seem like just a petty move between friends, in Baton Rouge, this is enough to start a rivalry. And that's exactly what would happen. TBG became instant rivals with
How far y'all think that move was to have sex with his sister? Honestly speaking, it depends on how old the sister is, for real. Like, she grown. She already made her the fucking decision. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be looking at shit. Like, that's why I'm be getting mad about, like, a decision, like, or, like, things a female would do or whatever. Like, I ain't never really, anyway, break up with a nigga or, like, leave a nigga or cheat on a nigga or whatever. I'm like, why would I get mad at? She already made her decision. You know? But what I'm trying to get to is how foul was that? Because I'm really not knowing. One, I ain't got a sister. Well, I do, but long story, I ain't got a sister, right? Two, I ain't never really been in that position. So, like, for the niggas that's got sisters and homeboys and shit like that, how foul is that shit? Like, yeah.
NBA and BBG. And here is where things get crazy. November 2nd, 2016. Boozilla leaves his house on the 1900 block of Nebraska Street, and he heads down to Highland Road. But as soon as he turns the corner, bam! This incident would devastate BBG and Youngboy especially, but they're so used to this that any sad emotions had to take a backseat. So Youngboy and two of his close BBG friends would wait for a few hours for the scene to clear, and then they would take a trip down to South Baton Rouge. They locate the house of the people that they think are responsible, and bam! They did not complete the mission, so the next day they would try again. Thankfully, everyone was okay, but things would come falling down just a few weeks later. On November 28th, 2016, Youngboy was arrested just before a show in Austin, Texas. Now mind you,
hold up, because 2016, he was kind of popping. Not knowing he was, you know what I mean? Not knowing if he was raking in hell of the bread yet, because at that time, he's probably still getting like 5-10 bands a show, you know? Probably 5-10 bands a show, 15, whatever. But hey, his shit going crazy for real, because 38 Baby, they popped already. Like, everybody did their reaction videos. Everybody really fell in love with the song at November around that time, honestly. But listen to me, bro. That nigga was doing shit like that while shit was bubbling. Bro, he really don't be giving a fuck, bro. That shit wild.
In California, you wouldn't be surprised if he was released, but this is Louisiana, one of the strictest states in the country. But somehow Youngboy was released after just 7 months in August of 2017. Here was his punishment, a $5,000 fine and 250 hours of community service. However, the driver, whose name is Derek Geis, got sentenced to 2 years, and this definitely raised some eyebrows in Baton Rouge. Also, Derek Geis is the brother of NFL running back Darius Geis, which is wild. Anyways, after Youngboy got out, he went on to release his hit song Untouchable, which took him to the next level. But while his mainstream success is going well, things in Baton Rouge are in complete chaos. Everyone began looking at Gmoney for being responsible for what happened to Boozilla. Their rivalry was known for a long time, so it only made sense. And BBG was thinking the same thing. And that takes us to September 10th, 2017. Gmoney goes to the studio on Dallas Drive, and after the studio session at about 2 in the morning, he casually steps outside. Bang! Baton Rouge was instantly in shock. Gmoney was one of their biggest up-and-coming rappers with millions of views and a bright future. And after this, all eyes were pointed in one direction: NBA Youngboy. However, no arrest would be made, at least for a few years. Sadly, after this happened, Gmoney's best friend Fredo Bang was locked up and had to receive the news over the phone. And the craziest part is that when he went down in early 2016, everyone was still friends. In just over a year, a small friend group had turned into the city's biggest rivalry. This is just how disagreements are handled in Baton Rouge. Fredo Bang was not fazed one bit, and that introduces us to a new character, a man by the name of Yoshi Edwards, also known as Lit Yoshi. And this guy is absolutely insane. He doesn't care who you are or where he finds you. He is always ready. And because of this reputation, he earned the highest rank within TBG, especially after this next incident. May 4th, 2018. Youngboy's manager Desmond Hardnett, also known as NBA Dump, is hanging out in front of his childhood home. This is in an area called Valley Park or College Drive, which you can usually hear Youngboy refer to in his music. Anyways, somehow he gets word of Dump's location, so he allegedly gets in his car and heads down to Valley Park, and boom, there he is, a heavy-set man in the middle of the street with his girlfriend. Bam. Another devastating loss for Youngboy and BBG.
This nigga commentating is low-key disrespect. The bang shit, the bang. That shit kind of blowing me, bro. Cause like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Then he said, hold up. Then I peeked, he said, there's a heavy set man. Like, bro, you could have said his name. Like, what's up, bro?
But it wouldn't be long before they would return the favor. On November 25th, TBG's manager Boulevard Quick went live and dissed Youngboy and his mom.
On the floor, I got us keeping it
Bro, alright, this dude wasn't a manager, bro. He was a rapper. What is up?
Then Youngboy would respond.
But if I ain't tripping, mama, I ain't see that nigga. It's a joke, mama. Don't mix my rap life with my music life. You gonna see who gonna have a laugh.
Don't rip my rap life. Don't mix my rap life with my music life, bro. He just be talking, bro. He just be talking. Bop, 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 my what? You stupid bitch. Bop, 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 my wife. He ain't married her, bro.
The little boy Quick was talking about me. But I really got on him to tell him that I'm sorry. I came to tell little Boulevard Quick that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made you cry, boo. For real. I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry I put your name in your mouth because I saw you crying. She looked like a man. She ugly. She got man features. I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry for talking about you because you look like a ball. You got round features, boo. I'm sorry. She want to be a comedian so bad. You want to be a rapper so bad. I'm sorry I made you cry.
And it's safe to say that this was his last straw. But first, they would have to locate where to find Boulevard Quick. Somehow the next day they got his address, the Lakeside Villa Apartments, an upscale community near the very last exit of Baton Rouge. But this wouldn't be far enough to get out of NBA's reach. On November 26th, they would sit outside his apartment. Bang. At this point, all relations are beyond repair, and NBA Youngboy has built a reckless reputation. And this reputation is valid because he will literally react to any instigation as if he's not a celebrity. Whether it's in LA getting pressed by the bounty hunters, which he wasn't scared one bit, or at the mall being pressed by a random person, Youngboy will throw his life away for his pride 9 times out of 10. But for 2019 and 2020,
yeah, I gotta peep the nigga in the back. That's Baby Joe. You gotta peep him. Peep his hand. Peep his walk. He want a nigga to do something. That's the. I wish a nigga would walk. You know what I'm saying? That nigga got it on him.
person, Youngboy will throw his life away for his pride 9 times.
Look, he looking at all this bullshit. Yeah, bitch, I got the dick on me. That's what he's saying in his head, bro. Listen, bro. I mean, look, bro. Just peep.
Times out of 10. But for 2019 and 2020, he completely owned those years, banger after banger. Sadly though, things would come to a halt in September of 2020. During a music video in Baton Rouge, a neighbor would call 911 due to loud music and commotion. So BRPD would show up, which kind of seems to be rare. Well, at least given what Quando Rondo said.
You ever been around Baton Rouge?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I mean, can you compare? Do you think Baton Rouge? What's the difference between Baton Rouge and Savannah? You think? What you would say?
Baton Rouge ain't got no police like that, boy. You could get away with anything, bro. Straight up.
Anyways, they would find all kinds of toolage that Youngboy cannot legally be around. They also confiscated $80,000 cash. However, Youngboy was released on bond, but then on March 22nd, 2021, he would run into more trouble. While in LA, another neighbor would call 911 about chaos at Youngboy's Airbnb. LAPD would arrive and Youngboy would take them on a chase through the neighborhood. Well, he wouldn't make it far, and this might have been his last straw. At first, he was facing over 20 years, but now it's looking more like 3 to 7. And the judge allowed him to move to Utah on house arrest and record music,
But he missing something. Like, bro, how am I catching shit, bro? Let me just hear him out, though.
He now drops an album like every week, it seems like, but there are 2 reasons he drops so much. First, he signed a deal with Atlantic Records where they own all the rights and profits to his music, and he has to drop a few more projects to get out of the contract and finally make some money. And the second reason is that he's facing all these years, so he needs to have some music stored. Well, after Youngboy went down, so would some more key players in Baton Rouge. TBG's top enforcer, Late Yoshi, would finally go down for all kinds of incidents, one of which occurred in Miami where he spotted Youngboy at a hotel. He is currently facing 20 years. Then, a key factor on Youngboy's side would go down as well. DeAndre Fields, also known as NBA Pap, went down for the events on September 10th, 2017, where Gmoney lost his life. So here we are in 2022, and NBA Youngboy's success is at an all-time high. But despite the success, his personal and family life has not gotten better one bit. In fact, he's inadvertently recreating the same cycle for his own children. And what do I mean by that? Well, he already has 8 kids by 7 women at the age of 22 years old. And between going on tour, studio time, and jail bids, it would literally be impossible for him to be a full-time father. But in his defense, I truly believe that he does not know any better. This is how he was raised and all of his friends as well. And it's possibly how his parents were raised and on and on. It's evident that Youngboy has been looking for love and acceptance his entire life. He even alluded to his grandma being the only person he has ever felt love from. So it's no wonder that he jumps from BNE to TBG to BBG and then to NBA. It also reflects in his relationships as well. It seems like every month he's dating or having a kid with a new woman. And not to play therapist here, but he also raps about needing his mom in his life and how she wasn't there when he needed her most. But this upbringing isn't unique to Youngboy at all. In fact, everyone in this video has a similar story. And that really makes you wonder, do they actually hate each other? Like, did they really hate Gmoney that much to the point where they wanted him gone? Or deep down, do they see themselves within him? At the end of the day, we all wish they could see the bigger picture, and that the little issues they have with one another are literally so minimal in the grand scheme of things. Everyone in this video is talented and a potential millionaire, and if they had handled their issues peacefully, they'd all be on a beach together laughing to the bank. But sadly, this reality hasn't sunk in, and honestly, how could it? When you have to worry about watching your back.
I could tell that the guy that was making this video only just hung around this type of community and is not from this type of community. You know what I'm saying? If he was from this type of community, then he'll know why certain shit is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He'll just know why certain shit is what it is. Why these guys just can't. They can, but more likely they not gonna just sit there and just let shit go. He will understand why. Let shit go as of doing songs together, being in the same like venues and shit. Like every time these niggas see each other, is what Cardi B said. It's up every time. So they more likely would never get booked on the same shows. Never do a song. The fuck? A song? They more likely gonna never do a song together. You know what I'm saying? There's certain shit that they ain't about to just do. Unless they hit like 50 to 60 unless they hit to like 50, 60 years old, then they might sit down and talk about that shit. You know? But at this time, the 20s, 30s, they ain't about to do that shit. You know? And then, you know, he's talking about how, if I'm not mistaken, ain't Youngboy dad in jail or some shit? You know? So he's talking about like their parents, and he's talking about not feeling love and shit. So these folks be feeling love sometimes. Just, you just don't know when they be feeling love. You know? Yeah, they may talk about certain shit in the music, but it could be some quote unquote rat cat. These folks have felt love before. From family members, gang member, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that fake shit out there, though. Like, yeah. Hell yeah. A lot of that fake shit out there for sure. But yeah. But I could just tell, bro.
His parents were raised and on and on. It's evident that Youngboy has been looking for love and acceptance his entire life. He even alluded to his grandma being the only person he has ever felt love from. So it's no wonder that he jumps from BNE to TBG to BBG and then to NBA. It also reflects in his relationships as well. It seems like every month he's dating or having a kid with a new woman. And not to play therapist here, but he also raps about needing his mom in his life and how she wasn't there when he needed her most. But this upbringing isn't unique to Youngboy at all. In fact, everyone in this video has a similar story. And that really makes you wonder, do they actually hate each other? Like, did they really hate Gmoney that much to the point where they wanted him gone? Or deep down, do they see themselves within him? At the end of the day, we all wish they could see the bigger picture, and that the little issues they have with one another are literally so minimal in the grand scheme of things. Everyone in this video is talented and a potential millionaire, and if they had handled their issues peacefully,
some of them niggas are already millionaires, buddy.
they'd all be on a beach together laughing to the bank. But sadly, this reality hasn't sunk in, and honestly, how could it? When you have to worry about watching your back 24/7 or wondering where your next meal is gonna come from, the bigger picture is the last thing on your mind. For that reason, Baton Rouge is a giant trap, inescapable unless you are extremely careful and focused. And that trap would apply to Youngboy's two younger brothers. So here's a story that many people don't know about. Youngboy's two younger brothers, Jeffrey Tate and Devon Tate, were arrested in 2019 after a 17-year-old named Javon Brown was found on Ottawa Drive. He was allegedly walking home from school when the two men approached him. It's crazy that with a multi-millionaire brother, you are still living the life that he's worked hard to get out of. But when it's all they know, there's nothing you can do about it. Now with most of TBG and NBA being locked up or moved out of Louisiana, there isn't much noise surrounding the rivalry. Instead, new characters have stepped up to the plate, causing all kinds of drama in Baton Rouge. And that can be a whole separate episode.
Hey, like, them niggas like half brothers.
If you want it. But all in all, when we look back at the TBG versus NBA rivalry, it's really no different than episode 1. Friends had an argument and it turned into something way bigger, and it spiraled from there on. But what do you guys think needs to change? There are plenty of jobs available in Baton Rouge that pay decent money. So what else?
I want to work a fucking job, nigga. Why don't I work a job? Unless that bitch paying good. Like, them niggas really expect you to come do some bullshit, bro. I really worked for $11 an hour. I think about that shit every other day. Seemed like, bro, I was tripping. Anyway. Anyway, bro. He missed the Fed shit. He missed that shit. He missed the other couple other things I can't think about right now. But he missed some shit. Y'all say something in the comments though. But this pretty much sums up the whole Baton Rouge shit for sure. And hold up, hear me out. We gotta take this shit with a grain of salt. I'm not believing all this shit be cap, because some of the shit is just like ingrained facts about days and dates and times and shit. Arrest times or arrested dates and shit. So that shit be facts. But all this hearsay shit, we just can't believe that shit facts, bro. We just can't, bro. I heard that. See, I'm always tripping to them, Anyway, this certain shit we just gotta take with a grain of salt. Like, a lot of them Vaughn documentaries, shout out to my boy Chicago Scene. Hey, look, some of that shit could have been cap. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to bash a nigga saying they doing bad journalism or whatever. It just is what it is, bro. But other than that, though, miss your boy Snorm. I'm going to get the hell up out of here. I'm gone.